said, you've been dogging me for years before I met you. And I found out after the fact, because see, me, the kind of woman I am, had I had known you had been dogging me for years, I never would have moved the way I moved to make some shit happen. But I didn't know that till after the fact. Was it intentional? Maybe. Some little shicey, maybe. But everything done in the dark always comes to the light, and baby girl, it came to the light. So, you too old too. You too old. Go find somebody else to play with. Go find somebody else to play with. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you, I'm telling y'all, ain't no way these the elders that the Bible speak on, it just ain't no way. It's just no way.
You're not ready for what's about to unfold, because what just leaked about Todd Tucker isn't just another piece of reality TV drama. It's something that could completely destroy his reputation, his career, and everything he's built over the years. And the most shocking part? This didn't even start with him. It started with a single move, one unexpected revelation from Porsha Williams that sent shockwaves through fans, insiders, and the entire internet almost instantly. What followed next spiraled into a storm of accusations, leaked messages, and hidden secrets that no one saw coming. And just when it felt like things couldn't possibly get any more intense, Kandi Burruss, who had been completely silent through all of this, finally spoke out. And when she did, everything changed. To really understand why this situation has exploded the way it has, you have to step back and look at the bigger picture, because this isn't just about one moment or one accusation. It's about years of tension, rumors, and relationships that have been quietly building behind the scenes. Todd has always been seen as someone who knows how to play the game. On camera, he comes across as confident, composed, and in control, but off camera, that's where things get complicated. For years, there have been whispers, subtle at first, easy to ignore, but persistent enough that people started to wonder if there was more going on beneath the surface. And now, those whispers are turning into something much louder, something impossible to ignore. Enter Porsha Williams, a figure who has never been afraid to speak her mind or step into controversy head-on. She's built a reputation for being bold, unpredictable, and completely unafraid of backlash. But this time, insiders are saying it's different. This time, she wasn't just reacting, she was revealing something she had been holding on to for a long time. And when those first hints started surfacing, cryptic posts, subtle comments, and then suddenly screenshots, it felt like the beginning of something much bigger than anyone expected. Fans who thought they understood the dynamic between these personalities suddenly found themselves questioning everything, because the narrative was shifting fast. Then came the moment that truly changed everything. Rumors began circulating about a private report connected to Todd, something deeply personal, something that was never meant to be public. At first, people dismissed it as just another rumor, another piece of gossip in a sea of speculation. But then, more details started to emerge. Screenshots, messages, conversations that hinted at something serious, something potentially damaging. And suddenly, what seemed like noise turned into a full-blown scandal. The internet lit up with questions. Was it real? Was it fabricated? And most importantly, why was it coming out now? And just when the tension had reached a boiling point, Kandi Burruss stepped in. For the longest time, her silence had been one of the most intriguing parts of this entire situation. People were watching her closely, waiting for any sign, any reaction, any clue about where she stood. And then it happened. She went live, calm, composed, but unmistakably serious. When she said, "People deserve the truth," it didn't just sound like a statement, it sounded like a warning. Within minutes, social media exploded. Hashtags started trending, debates ignited, and suddenly this wasn't just a story anymore. It was a full-scale online frenzy. But what was happening publicly was only part of the story. Behind the scenes, things were reportedly even more intense. According to insiders, there was a confrontation, a moment where everything came to a head. Imagine the tension, a private setting, emotions running high, accusations flying back and forth. Todd reportedly caught off guard, trying to regain control of a situation that was slipping through his fingers. Portia standing firm, refusing to back down. And in that moment, it became clear that this wasn't just about rumors anymore. This was personal, deeply personal.
Then came another twist, one that pushed the story into an entirely new level of chaos. More messages leaked, messages that allegedly suggested Todd was trying to manage the narrative, possibly even discredit the claims being made against him. And that's when public opinion really started to fracture. Some people believed he was being unfairly targeted, caught in a storm he didn't create. Others believed the leaks confirmed everything they had suspected all along. The uncertainty became the driving force of the story, because the truth, it was still just out of reach. At this point, the internet wasn't just reacting, it was completely consumed. Twitter threads turned into full investigations. Instagram comments became battlegrounds. TikTok creators started breaking down every detail, every frame, every word, trying to piece together what was really happening. People weren't just watching the drama, they were participating in it. And with every new post, every new theory, the story grew bigger, more complicated, and more impossible to ignore. And then, just when it seemed like things couldn't escalate any further, a video surfaced, a short clip lacking context but loaded with implication. It allegedly showed Todd in the tense interaction with someone unidentified, raising even more questions than answers. The internet went into overdrive. Some called it proof, others called it manipulation, but one thing was undeniable. It added fuel to a fire that was already out of control. Meanwhile, Candy added another layer of mystery. Instead of giving clear answers, she posted something cryptic, something that left more questions than clarity, a short message that fans interpreted as, "You think you know, but you don't." That single line shifted the entire conversation again, because now it wasn't just about what had been revealed, it was about what was still hidden, what else was out there, what hadn't been uncovered yet. Then came perhaps the most explosive development yet. Alleged private messages surfaced showing Todd attempting to prevent certain information from going public. If true, it suggested something much bigger than a misunderstanding. It hinted at a possible cover-up. And that's when the tone of the entire story changed. This wasn't just drama anymore. This was something that could have real consequences. But just when it felt like we had reached the peak of the story, new whispers began to circulate. Quiet at first, almost easy to miss, but impossible to ignore once you noticed them. People started suggesting that Todd might not be the only one involved, that there could be another figure, someone unexpected, someone who hasn't been mentioned yet. And if that's true, then everything we've seen so far might just be the beginning of something even bigger. So now the question is, what do you think is really going on? Is Todd guilty of everything he's being accused of? Or is he caught in something much more complicated? Is Portia exposing the truth? Or is there another side we haven't seen yet? And Candy, what does she really know? Because at this point, it feels like she's holding on to something that could change everything. Drop your thoughts, your theories, your predictions in the comments below. No filters, no limits. Because honestly, nothing about this situation is normal anymore. And if you think this story is already shocking, just wait, because the next leak, the next revelation, could flip everything all over again. So make sure you're subscribed, turn on notifications, and stay locked in, because this isn't over. Not even close. And trust me, what comes next? You won't believe it.